Hey everyone, I hope you are well. This is Jeri again for another gesture video. Yes, on the gesture video side. So this video I decided to make because for my figure drawing class, I noticed that some students, about 50% of the students, probably more than 50%, had an great and beautiful gesture style. They were applying the three body masses. Everything was all there. It was amazing to just watch some of you draw. And it was just really fun to see. And then probably about a handful of you guys still, how can I say, when you're drawing gestures, you were either using a sketchy line, and when I mean sketchy, I'm going to go about showing you, are you you were completely just going over outlines, and that's what you was getting down, and you were not applying your three body masses. So here's the thing: no matter what your style is, for me, still apply those three body masses to your style. Just surrender to it for this semester. When you get out of this class, you go about doing your gestures however you want to do your gestures. When you graduate or when you're done with the semester. But I really want you guys to practice getting those three body masses in, because it's very important to understand what they are doing. Because guess what? When we start to go into landmarks and linear structure, construction, you're going to need those three body masses there. So it's very important to, at least in a gesture stage, have an idea what they are doing. So when we start to build on these gestures, it would definitely help you. Another thing, you guys, I noticed that some of you guys were not holding your pencils properly. So if, as you can see, this is how you're supposed to properly hold your pencil as an artist. So I've seen a lot of you holding your pencil in a tripod method, and it's kind of like when you're writing. I've seen that, which is, hey, it's okay. I've seen it, a lot of you, more than 50% of you holding your pencil like this. Some of you guys were holding your pencil at the end. And by all means, I fluctuate through all three. All three I fluctuate through. But when it comes to gestures, I would suggest either holding your pencil in this type of method in between your thumb and your index finger, or hold your pencil at the end. The reason why I'm saying that is because you want to get, you want to be able to draw from your shoulder. That gives you way more range than drawing from your wrist, because this is what's happening. And if you're able, as you can see, I can move more fluidly and get more fluid lines. Is it a little bit harder to control? Yes. But for a gesture, it just helps to be a little bit more fluid. So this is holding my pencil at the end. I still got range, and I'm still able to not only hold my pencil at the end, but I'm still able to use my shoulder. So these are the things that you want to think about, because I've seen a lot of you guys drawing like this, and I'll show you. So those are the things that I noticed, and I'm just like, how do I go about correcting you guys? And I'm, we're working remotely. How do I go about doing this? And I thought, well, maybe I just do a video. So that's kind of what I was seeing, and I just want to talk about some more things. So if the main thing that I want to say is, when you're actually gesturing, you want to make sure you start with some type of small sphere, and then you want to add the draw line to it. So I noticed some of you guys were drawing your sphere really big, and then you come down with a neck. You don't want a soccer ball. That's what you don't want. Then you also want to think about what that shoulder is doing. So what is the shoulder doing? What is the neck doing? Where's the pit at? And then if I, because my lovely model is kind of doing a weird pelvic thrust thing, so I'm gonna come in and swoop down because I want to get that. And then I could also come in I'm going to come up just a little bit more, and I'm going to come down. And I can adjust this. I just wanted to kind of get that dominant line in. Then once you have that, you want to come in with your 3 body masses. And another thing, think about the spacing in between the rib cage as well as in between the pelvis. Because some of you guys were coming in, let's say this is your head, this is your neck. It wasn't that bad, but I know I'm exaggerating. And then you were like, okay, this is the rib cage. The pelvis is all the way down here. Give just a little bit of space. That's what you want to do. So now that I have that in, then I can start to kind of think about what I want to. Just give a little bit of indication for the iliac crest. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. And then I want to come in. I see a little bit of spacing in her legs. I also know that her legs gonna come here, diagonal. I know that there is a knee that's here. And then I can come in and just get this kind of idea for what the muscles are doing. And then I'm just going to draw a little bit of a oval because I'm trying to indicate that that calf. So I have that happening. I know that there's a little bit of spacing. So you guys, make sure you're paying attention to the negative space that's in between as well. And then I can come in, I can get the other leg in. I know that there's a knee that's there. Come in with a little bit of that calf. And I can get the feet in. I know this one's going this way. I tend to make my feet bigger than what they are, and that's fine for me. I know students don't like that, but I do. It just forces me to stay on top and not making very itty bitty feet. So we have just a little bit of that in. And then I know that her body is in this motion that's here. And then I can get a little bit of where it's happening for her, the idea for the direction of the breast. I know there's a sternum there. And then when I kind of think about the breast, you can always think about the heart shape method if need be, connecting them together. And we still have that's happening. I can come in and just kind of get a little idea for things and where they're at. Another thing is, once again, I can use the 1-2 method for the arms. I'm totally drawn over my don't. And then I can come in so you guys, although I should be moving a lot faster, but I just want to make sure some of you guys get a better understanding of it. So as you can see, the whole drawing, I had my hand my pencil in between my thumb and also my index finger. So sometimes I'll switch over and if I want to come in and get some just darker lines in some areas or some more crisp lines, I can definitely do that. If I want to get a little bit of a line weight variation happening, I can do that as well. If I want to describe something a little bit more, I can do that too. And I know when you're gesturing, you don't have a whole lot of time, and you don't, but that's kind of when you want to switch your pencil over. Because you kind of have the whole thing in, and then you could come in, because I know when you have the tripod method, you have a little bit more control over what you are doing. And I get that. Like, I completely get that control, and you want that to happen. So those are the things that you kind of want to think about, and some of the things that I did notice. So once again, this is somewhat of a do that's here. This is definitely don't go on with that soccer ball. That's a don't. And then you definitely don't want to have too much space in between your rib cage and your pelvis. Another thing you don't want to do that I kind of noticed is that students were going in and they were just getting outlined. So I'm holding my pencil as I seen some of my students. They were going in with one continuous line, kind of, not much of a variation. They were trying to really get in there and just kind of get these outlines in. And this is really what I was seeing. In all honesty, it made me a bit nervous seeing it. Because you guys are singers, and you shouldn't be drawing. I'm doing a horrible job drawing outlines. But you shouldn't be drawing just the outline for a gesture. Like, it's not a contour drawing. It's a gesture. Normally you want to have multiple lines happening. So you don't want to do this at all. Obviously I'm doing a don't, and I can't even do it right. That's horrible. But yeah, you can kind of see the difference. You don't want to do this, and you don't want to do that. That's a don't. Just don't do it. Another thing I noticed, some of you guys were using kind of like this sketchy line that was like and you were trying to get things in, and you know, stuff. Not, it wasn't this horrible, you guys. But I was seeing the sketchy. I haven't done sketchy lines in so long. Actually, honestly, you can see how horrible this is. But I was seeing this kind of sketchy line thing kind of happening. And when I see that, and I tell my students this all the time, when I see the sketchy line, that tells me you're not confident in what you are drawing, or you're not confident in your line work. That's what it's telling me. Like, you're very unsure about it. You don't want to do that. You want to be, although my lines, yeah, it's a lot going on, but you want to be confident in the line work that you put down. Like, I can't stress that enough. So this is definitely another don't. And you just don't want to do that. So this here, this is the one thing. I had a professor that used to say this, and I laugh to this day, because it's so true. It has nothing to do with the drawing. It's just so true. And she used to say, you don't want to draw just outlines for your figures, because the reason why you don't want to do it is because it looks like the dead men. And what she mean by dead men is when someone dies, and these were a lot of like old detective movies, because they don't even do it anymore. But when somebody dies and the police come and they're trying to figure out what's happening, they would draw a white chalk line around the drawing, and you would see the dead man outline, or normally the caution man or whatever. And when she said that, I was like, that is totally true. And you don't want to do that, because that is what this looks like. You don't want to come in with the sketchy line. Once again, when I see the sketchy line, I'm like, and also the same instructor she would say you don't want to have, she used to call it chicken scratch, and I try not to say chicken scratch because I don't want to discourage or defend discourage or offend my students, but you, when you think of chicken scratch, that's kind of what it is. But you just don't want to go in with a sketchy line. You want to come in a lot more confident. So you definitely want to do this. And that's the one thing that I was seeing that kind of made me a bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. So those of you guys who kind of fell in this category, one thing I can tell you is practice, practice, practice. Practice drawing inside out as much as you can. Even if you're going to have a bunch of lines, that's fine. But keep your lines light, and then you always go back over it with darker lines. I went in a little bit too dark, and that's mainly because I just wanted to make sure that you can see my drawing on camera. But it's just one of those things, you guys. I just wanted to address that with you. So I'm going to go over just a couple of gesture drawings in the next clip of this video. But these are the do's and don'ts that I was seeing and I just wanted to address. So I'll see you guys in the next clip. Just stay tuned for that. Bye.